Is this already recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay, uh, actually, for worker, today, tomorrow, and Friday is a holiday. It's a holiday. Actually, but we are already having a holiday. Every day is holiday, right? So, and because the time is running out, and this is the last meeting before the mid test, I decide to meet you guys this morning. Okay, but I think this won't be long. This won't be long. Last day, I asked opinion. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My laptop lose connection. So I changed to use my. Okay. Hafiz, please open the first
PowerPoint with the title Filsafat and Agama.
Okay, sir.
Yes, before that, I'm so sorry that the slide is still in Bahasa. I'm so sorry. I have no time to translate it yet, but I will try to explain in English. Do we have Kitinan here? Is there Kitinan here? No? Oh, he is absent. Okay. even Kitinan, if I'm not mistaken, he prefer use Bahasa than English. I don't know why. Okay, but in international class we suggested to use English, right? The first slide, filsafat and agama, philosophy and religion. Okay. So this slide is actually made by your senior from the major of management, if I'm not mistaken, from the major of management, 2017. Yes, please, next slide. Okay. The definition, agama or religion in English. Agama means comes from the language of Sanskrit, which consists of two words. A means no and Gam means live. So agama or religion means not living, stay in the place, inherited from ancestor. And the other opinion said that the religion means guidance. Religion also has written guidance, which is called the Holy Book. The Holy Book, right? We have Al Quran and Bible for Christians, and for Jewish, from Islamic paradigm, we know it is the kitab of the book of what is it? I forget. We have already also, but I don't know where is it now. Taurat, am I correct? Taurat, Injil, Al-Quran, and what else? I'm sorry, I forget. Okay, so religion is the whole opinion about God, the world, life, death, behavior, good and bad, according to Wahyu. What is Wahyu? Wahyu is a guidance from God directly to human, directly or indirectly, indirectly through the prophet, Okay, next. While philosophy comes from philos and sophia, means loving wisdom. So etymologically, philosophy means loving wisdom. While terminology, in terminology, there are some definition about it. and we will not read it all day long because we have discussed it last time, right? Okay, next. The difference between philosophy and religion. The religion is a part of a part and the source for culture. The part and the source. While philosophy is only part. Religion is God making. Philosophy is human thinking. Religion comes from assumption, while philosophy trying to understand the assumption itself. Religion start from belief, start from believing, while philosophy is believing so much in thinking. Okay, so religion believes in truth and dogmatic. While philosophy disagree about that dogmatic theory in religion. Okay, we have discussed it last time, right? About what is dogma, right? What is dogma? Dogma is something you cannot bargain, something you cannot bargain. Because religion, if you have choose one religion, you must believe everything about it. So that's why in the writer of this slide say that the philosophy is different with religion. Okay, next. Okay, then we see the ideology. What is ideology? Ideology comes from a Greek idea and logos, the study about idea. Terminologically, ideology in the science about ideas and the study about the source of ideas. Okay, according to Marx and Engels, ideology is believing in something as an object, but it is not true because it's just only a mirror for the condition of a society. According to Karl Mannheim, using this ideology to refer on beliefs between motives among people. Okay, so to make it simple, usually ideology is a belief of a nation, So it is different with religion. It is different. Religion is more personal. While ideology usually used by a nation, the whole community in one nation. Okay, we will see it later in another slide. Next. The connection between philosophy and religion. Philosophy and religion is two different ideas, but it has connection. Uh, okay, so the religion talk a lot about the connection between human and God, while philosophy is trying to finding truth. And if the real truth is systematic, so be it the truth of philosophy. Wait. It is too small. I must read my own slide. The object of philosophy is what we say. Okay, so the philosophy itself between one people and another people is different according to what they say. According to what they say. The object thing by philosopher is what is exist and what might be exist in reality or in ideas in your mind and everything that is possible. So the connection between philosophy and religion is the religion become as an object, becoming an object in the study of philosophy. Okay, please don't make it hard. Okay. So it is different, right? It is different, the philosophy and religion. If you believe in religion, the religion comes from the philosophy is human mind. Okay, but people who study philosophy trying to understand religion using philosophy. Okay. The next slide. The role of religion for philosophy is guiding or make right the philosophy which is so speculative about religion, while the role of philosophy into religion is helping people to believe the truth of religion by critical and logical thinking. Okay. So just like what I've told you before, that the philosophy is just like a knife, right? It is just a tool to understand something. The knife could be dangerous, and the knife could be helpful according to who use it. According to who use it. But if you are not be careful using the knife, you can harm yourself, right? That is why some of ulama in the past time, uh, don't want their students learning philosophy if they are not ready yet, because the ulama afraid if the student learning philosophy and not ready, they become doubtful in religion. Okay. Okay, so now we will continue to the next slide. Please open, please. Theism and agnosticism. Okay, thank you. Next slide. Okay, the person who introducing agnostic. What is agnosticism? Huxley think that humans will never know the identity and the where the universe come from. According to Bertrand Russell, Bertrand said that it is no difference between atheist and agnostic, because both of atheism and agnosticism is a living God, living the existence of God, just like the older Greek philosopher like Zeus, Poseidon, etc. Okay, next slide. Theism and atheism. Theism, people who believe that God is exists and creating universe, while atheism is people who did not believe in the existence of God. While Gnostic is the attitude of knowing where is God. Agnostic is not knowing where is God. Okay. Next. So those of four theory could be blend, could be mixed into Gnostic atheist and agnostic atheist. Gnostic theist and agnostic theist. Gnostic atheist means that the guy who knows that God is not exist and believe that he don't believe in God. Agnostic atheist, he don't know that God is exist and believe that he don't believe in God. Gnostic theist know that God is exist and believe in God. Agnostic theist don't know where is God, but trying to believe in God. Okay, please don't make it confused, right? Please don't make it confused. This is just for your information. So, to be simply understanding that The agnostic is a doubtful person. Doubtful. They are a doubtful. So the agnostic people is not sure 100%. The agnostic people is not sure 100%. If he is agnostic and he believes in God, he is only not 100% belief. But if he is agnostic and atheist, so he is not 100% atheist. So perhaps he has a very little iman or belief in his heart. Okay, that is agnostic. Yes. Next slide. Another type of agnosticism, pragmatism. The belief in academics, which say that there is no proof of existence of God, but they are questioning perhaps God is exist, but the God itself is don't care about the universe. According to agnosticism, pragmatic. The strong agnosticism, the view that the existence of God is not knowing, because there is no scientific proof and no subjective experience, and it is only subjective experience from people to understand the existence of God, according to the strong agnosticism. So this kind of people is very doubtful. He don't believe in God if there is no proof, scientific proof. The weak one of agnosticism. So the iman of agnosticism is weak. So he say that perhaps someday there will be a proof that God is exists. Okay. The last. So the conclusion is agnosticism is belief that there is no way to understand that God is exist. Okay, that is the conclusion. Okay, so now please continue to the next slide, Hafiz. Let's see about the philosophy of Pancasila. Okay. What is this? If here is Kitinan, I will explain it to Kitinan, but Kitinan is not here. Garuda Pancasila. Garuda Pancasila. Okay. The philosophy of Pancasila and ideology. Another ideologies. Let's see the second slide. Philosophy of Pancasila. Pancasila is using the values of Pancasila as the basis and the worldview of a country, especially in Indonesia. The philosophy of Pancasila has function and using for the guidance and the guidance in attitude and behavior and every deed in daily activity in society and also as a nation. Next slide, please. Okay. Pancasila as ideology is the value or norms which based on the sila of Pancasila. So the meaning of Pancasila as ideology is the values in Pancasila become what is it? The dream of normative dream for having a country or a nation. The value in Pancasila is the value which is everybody agree on it and become one of the nation building to make a lot of people of Indonesia become one big nation. Okay, I think you have already learned about this in the subject of what is it? PKN, right? PKN, Pendidikan Kewarganegaraan, right? Okay. Next slide. Okay, looks like we will skip this one. Wait, let me see. Directly to slide number 7, please. Slide number 7. Instead of Pancasila, just like what I've said before, that the ideology is belief in a country. It is different with religion. There are so many ideologies in the world, such as fascism, communism, liberalism, ideology of religion, capitalism, anarchism, socialism, conservatism, Marxism, nationalism, Nazi, monarchy, and democracy. Let's see one by one. Next slide. Fascism, the ideology which the idea about one thing become everything. What is it? The how to say kepentingan in English. So just like for example in Nazi, you can see in your slide the picture of Adolf Hitler, right? Adolf Hitler. And in fascism, there must be the absolute leadership. So the idea of Nazi the idea of Nazi, that Hitler believed that the Arya is a race, just like we have the race Asian race, we have African race, Chinese race, and they believe in Arya, the race of Arya, and they say, and according to them, the Arya race is number one in the world, because they are tall and white and strong. They believe in it. And so they think that another race in the world is weak. So the Arya, as the best race, must become the leader in the world. So that is the belief of Hitler and Nazi. Based on that belief, they conquer. They want to conquer all of the world and become the leader. Okay, and if you learn about the history, they start the war of World War, right? World War. The next slide. Okay, what is the, how do you know that one country has the ideology of fascism? Number one, have a very strong leadership in one person, and the leader is very authoritative and absolute. Number two, make their believer in uniform. Number three, there is no a lot of identity. Number four, the military is number one, because according to fascism, the enemy is everywhere. So the country is always in danger, right? So actually, this idea is very will make you tired, right? Country in danger. Oh my God. Okay. The enemy is constructed in the ideologic frame or conspiracy. Okay, next slide. Another thing you can see from fascism. Number one is racism, because they believe that they are number one according to physical, physics. Number two is military base, just like we see on the previous slide. And number three is ultra nationalist. They are very proud of their own country, and that's why they believe that another country is weak. Okay, and imperialism. They want to conquer one world with coercive, for their own sake. Okay, next. This is very interesting. Communism. What is it? Communism is an idea of having together in production tools such as capital, land, and labor in one main goal, which is the welfare of a society, and the society without class, and everybody is the same. So the sign of communism can be seen from the principle of the same, the similarity in economy and secularism. Because in the strong communism, the religion is replaced by communism ideology. Okay. I'm sorry, I missed. Okay, next slide. Where we can see the communism. Communism is atheism, don't believe in God. And communism is less pricing for human as individual because nobody can control the production tools. Communism teaching about the class conflict. The class conflict. What is it? The class conflict? You will learn it in Marxism. So they believe that bourgeois and proletariat. What is bourgeois? Bourgeois is rich people and proletariat is poor people. Bourgeois is a capitalist and proletariat is a laborer. So we will discuss it later. But in short, they believe that that conflict of class must be eliminated by creating one country which everybody has the same similarity in economy. Okay. Communism has only one party, which is Communist Party. So there is no opposition in such a communist party. So they don't believe in human rights. There will be no nation and no law because it will no longer need it. Next slide. Okay, the country which has communism ideology, Chinese, and North Korea, Vietnam, Russia, Cuba, Albania. Okay. Next slide. Liberalism. What is liberalism? Okay, liberalism means for short freedom, liberate, freedom. So there is no the government is less controlling in liberalism. The government is less controlling, and there is no limit in personal ownership. There is no limit. If you rich enough, you can buy your country. If you rich enough, okay. Next slide, please. Okay, the liberalism itself believes in democracy. The part of the community has the freedom of speech, freedom to have religion, and the freedom of press. The government only rules community in a very few decision making. So they let the community to get their own decision. The control of one person to another person is a bad thing because we believe in freedom. Okay. Next slide. The ideology of religion. So this country believes in religion as an ideology. So the ideology of religion means the ideology belief and comes from the religion. So how is it? Number one, all about country and government is based on the law of religion. There is only one religion in one nation, and all of the aspects of living in a country based on religion. Okay, next slide. The example of the country which believe in religion as ideology. Saudi Arabia, Vatican, the Vatican in Rome, Iran, and some countries in Middle East. Okay. Next slide. Capitalism. Capitalism is belief or ideology where the basic needs of private is above the needs of society. So capitalism is there is no limit in richness. So you can be very rich in capitalism. Next slide, please. How can we see that one country has the ideology of capitalism? The right of private, the private right is okay. There is no limit in private rights in the country of capitalism, and the production tool is in individual, not by the country. On the contrary, with the ideology of communism, and the market giving signal to producer and consumer in the form of prices. And the government is less controlling, government less control. And the economy is based on market mechanism. Means no control from government, and the human is seen as an homo economicus, which always after their own profit. So that is capitalism. Let's see next slide. Anarchism. Okay, a belief or idea that all form of country, government, and the whole power is not important and not needed. That's why it must be eliminated. Okay, so this idea of anarchism. So they believe in making chaos. Okay, next slide. In anarchism, the individual is more important than the society. Orientation on education is needed or in nature, and there is no rule or bureaucracy. So they prefer to use cruelty. They prefer to use cruelty. So this is anarchism. Okay, next slide. Socialism. Socialism is an ideology wait. Let me see. Okay, so in socialism, the country must full control in the goal of a nation, and the need of a community and the need of individu must be eliminated. Number one is the goal of the nation. Okay, next slide. What we can see from socialist country, solidarity is number one. Number two, trying to eliminate capitalism. Number three, the struggle did by laborer. There is no private right. Everything is the same. So there is no rich and poor. There is no boss and helper. Everybody is the same. And they believe in parliament. Okay, if there is any liberation or freedom which become the private ownership, then that kind of freedom will be rejected. So in this socialism, democracy is not working well. Okay, next. The example of socialist country, just like Syria, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Aljazair. Okay, socialism. Next slide. Conservative. Conservatism is an ideology which want to depend or hold very strong in tradition and stability, social stability, and they want to stay the same all the time, and against the radical changing. Next slide. What is the what can we see from conservatism? They live in kingdom and church. They believe in kingdom and church. Religion is the strongest power to keep the tradition. And the family, church, and country is holy, according to them. And conservatism is against radicalism and skepticism. Okay. Next slide. Nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology where the most loyalty must be placed for a country. Okay. Next slide. Yes, next slide, please. Oh, Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein don't believe in nationalism. Okay. What can we see from nationalist country? Always place their own country and before another country, and they work hard and need so much about their country, and their goal is political, social, and economy for their country. Okay, and they want to make sure the welfare of a country, and they believe and keeping and own their country.
But we still can continue the class in this group. So the last I didn't explain it to you is about monarchism and democracy, right? The monarchy is believed that the leader of a country must be a king. And usually the king have the prince, and the prince then become the new king in monarchy. Although the monarchy country is out of date, but in today's government, we can barely see that in some conditions, some countries with monarchy is even better than the country with democratic. Let's see, for example, the kingdom of England and British, the kingdom of Brunei Darussalam, or the other is Malaysia, for example. In Indonesia, we have also the kingdom of Yogyakarta and Solo. And they are looks happier and more welfare in society than the democratic one. And what is democracy? What is democracy? Democracy
Hello,
means
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
People power, the power of majority. Vox populi, vox dei, or the people voice means in general election is the God voice. The majority is the winner in democracy. Democracy is very good if the people in one country is in majority a smart guy.
Hello?
But if the majority of
Hello.
in one country is not so smart, the country could
Okay. And I cannot.
damage and not in a good condition because
Habis?
the majority is
I cannot see
having
the
power.
slide.
And usually some people of minority, they have power to control the majority, and the people which is I'm sorry to say not so smart
Hello, sir.
Yes, I
is
cannot see the
become
slide.
the foolish one. They become
but
a
the
part
slide
of
is
game
already
of
there.
minority which can control the
Already, sir.
country, and
Okay.
for that usually the minority
What page is what page?
is not so good in attitude
Anarchism.
usually. So that is the bad effect of democracy. If the majority is smart people, it's okay. So because the majority is not so smart, the one who's smart enough can buy the voice of the majority by giving money. For example, if you go to general election or pemilu in Indonesia, we can see everywhere that there's still money politics, right? There's still money politics. From that phenomena, we can see that Indonesian people is not ready for democracy. And the last but not least, about Marxism, you can see it from the slide I gave to you, right? The point is Marxism is want to eliminate the conflict of class. So they believe that there should be no rich and rich guy, and there should be no poor guy. Everybody is the same. Is it correct? Perhaps some people believe that it's correct. It will be fun, it will be happier if everybody is in the same way. But according to our religion in Islam is believed that rich and poor is God willing. So God himself creating the one who rich and the one who is poor. Why? Why God create those things? Because if everybody is rich, then there will be no worker. Looks like I have told you this last time, or maybe I have deja vu. Just like in the country like Malaysia, Singapore, or Thailand, or Saudi Arabia, where people, almost everybody is rich, then nobody want to become worker, nobody want to become a sweeper, nobody want to become security, nobody want to become maid, housemaid, or pembantu rumah tangga, nobody. Why? Because everybody is rich person. So they import a laborer from another country. So according to our religion, rich and poor is sunnatullah, or God willing. It is okay to have rich people and poor people, but Islam also teach us that the poor must be helped by zakat, infak, and sedekah and wakaf. So rich and poor is sunnatullah, but the disparity, the gap between the rich and the poor must be not so wide. So the poor not so in poverty, and the rich is not so very rich. So the gap must be smaller. How to make it smaller? By zakat, infak, sedekah, and wakaf. That is Islamic teaching about that is in on the contrary with communism and Marxism.
10/2020 at 8:38 RSC Farala, please ask something. And prepare for the mid-test the 28th of October 2020 8:38 RSC Farala. Don't worry, it will be open book and analytic the 28th of October 2020 8:44 plus 62 895 3439 16596. Okay sir, thank you. The 28th of October 2020 8:50 Hafiz 20. I have some questions sir. 1. We know that communism is popular ideology from another country. But I've read that Uni-Soviet collapsed because this ideology not relevant, so my question is why some country like China, Korea, Utara, Vietnam still using that ideology? 2. What the difference of ideology communism between socialism? Is it the difference just trust in God or not? Thank you sir. The 28th of October 2020 8:54 RSC Farala, anybody can help me with the answer. The 28th of October 2020 8:54 RSC Farala. Let's discuss the 28th of October 2020 8:58 RSC Farala. As a trigger, I must say that there is no country 100% in communism or socialism. Usually it blended. Even now China is going forward to capitalism. Proving by Alibaba and many billionaires. For which in actual communist country there should be nobody richer than anyone else. The 28th of October 2020 9:02 Hafiz 20. Thank you sir. The 28th of October 2020 9:04 RSC Farala. Come on, other opinion. The 28th of October 2020 9:12 plus 62 898 6359 779 Siamenkoba Menjawab Pertanyaan Kedua Dari Hafiz sir. Mereka yang berfaham socialist belum tentu komunis, tapi berideologi komunis sudah pasti socialist. Komunisme itu mendahulukan kepentingan pribadi, menggahar kekayaan perorangan, dan memperkenankan perang. Sedangkan socialism mendahulukan kepentingan banyak orang, bekerja demi pemerintahan kesejahteraan, dan berupaya memajukan kedamaian. Jadi bukan hanya perbedaan mengenai kepercayaan kepada Tuhan saja, banyak perbedaan dari keduanya salah satunya perbedaan dari sistem politik dan ekonominya. The 28th of October 2029 15 RC Farala. Okay, but will be better in English. The 28th of October 2029 16 plus 62 898 6359 779. Oakser. The 28th of October 2029 21 plus 62 898 6359 779. I am trying to answer the second question from Hafiz, sir. Those who think socialists are not necessarily communists, but communist ideologies are definitely socialists. Communism prioritizes personal interests, pursues individual wealth, and allows war. Meanwhile, socialism prioritizes the interests of many people, works for the distribution of welfare, and seeks to promote peace. So it is not just differences regarding belief in God, there are many differences between the two, one of which is the difference between the political and economic systems. The 28th of October 2029 23 RC Farala. I might continue that communism in history was born after socialism, and Marx wanted more than just a socialism. The 28th of October 2028 24 RC Farala. Uni-Soviet separated by civil war, and communism as an ideology will never die as long as people still read the history in their books.